So I think every monstrous creature should have a poem about it, and I haven't read one about the Mapinguari, and it was while doing research on the area in Brazil that my mom is from that I learned about them, and it's in the poem, but it's worth knowing ahead of time that they have one eye and two mouths. So there's the regular mouth, and then there's a mouth in the stomach. I guess you can feed both of them, I don't know. But yeah, so basically the Mapinguari is the South American Bigfoot, which is important to know. The last known sighting of the Mapinguari. Before she died, my mother told me I'd make the monster that would kill me. But what crawled toward me was not my lost daughter manifesting as myth. This was someone else's death, creeping through my field, butchering my cow. I recognized its lone eye and two mouths. Perhaps it mistook the lowing for the call of its own kind. I didn't mind the heifer, but her calf circled, refusing to leave even as the creature pulled out its mother's tongue, fed one of its mouths and moaned from the other. The intestines glowed dully in the moonlight. The calf bawled. The disappointed Mapinguari sat, thousands of worms rising from the split heart it held, testing the strange night air. I've outlived all the miracles that came for me. My mother was wrong and not wrong, like the calf who approached the monster and licked the blood from its fingers. I just got to do, for the Texas Book Festival, I got to do an oral storytelling night, which I've never done before. It was very fun, and the theme of the night was Speak of the Devil. And one of the things that came up in my talk was that I met with some students shortly after the book came out, and a young man, we're in the Q&A portion, and it's the second thing said in that room. I got one question I've forgotten already, but then his question was just a comment, which was, you have an unusual amount of devil sex in your book. And I was like, I think you're confusing the devil with the pink dolphin in the Amazon that has sex with all the women in the book. But then I was like, actually going back through, I was like, okay, legit, there's like a definite sense of the devil here. So I'm gonna read a devil sex poem in honor of the student who has made the nature of the sex in my book infamous even to myself. So this is called To Survive the Revolution. I too love the devil. He comes to my bed, all wrath and blessing and wearing my husband's beard, whispers, tell me who you suspect. He fools me the same way every time, but never punishes me the same way twice. I don't remember who I give him, but he says I have an instinct for red. Kiss red, pleasure red, red of the ripe guaraná, of the jaguar's eyes when it stalks the village at night. Red as the child I birthed that my husband buried without me. The stump of flesh where the head should be, red. Pierced side of a disappointing Christ, red. A sinner needs her sin, and mine is beloved. Mine returns with skin under his fingernails, an ice cube on his tongue, and covers my face with a hymnal. I never ask for a miracle, only strength enough to bear his weight. Each day I hang laundry on the line, dodge every shadow. Each night he crawls through the window, I pay with a name. The God I don't believe in saves me anyway. And I guess we'll just keep the sex train rolling and end with a dolphin sex poem. And so in the Amazon, there are literal, like the real truth is, there are pink dolphins in the Amazon, for real. But the myth about these real pink dolphins is that they can transform into men. So if you were out and you're just like doing a little samba, saying like, what's up, saying hi, you just check under the hat of the gentleman that you're dancing with, make sure there's no blowhole. And then, I usually say, well, like, and if there's no blowhole, you're good to go. But really, if there's a blowhole, you can just have dolphin sex. These are your choices. Mm-hmm. But you should just be informed. You should just know who or what creature you were having sex with before you go do that. So I don't believe I name it here, but the pink river dolphin is called the boto, and he appears throughout this book. And here we'll get the he referenced in the poem is the dolphin, and a caipirinha is a Brazilian cocktail. I don't think there's anything else you have to know. And just remember, if you go to Brazil and you're at a nice party, just check under the hat, just to be informed. After the plantation fire, we buried the bodies and danced. We had to. Beneath the sagging porch, generators roared. Mosquitoes sated themselves on wild dogs. Boats approaching on the river loaded with soldiers killed their engines. We told them the fire had nothing to do with the revolution. I've made the choice between brushing flies from a child's eyes or digging a grave deeper. It's easier than you'd think. So what if I knew who he was when he sidled close, hat tilted back, caipirinha in his hand, and matched his hips with mine? I toyed with his buttons, felt scars through his shirt. I didn't tell him where our daughter had gone or what my husband had done. He kissed the blood blisters on my fingertips and never asked how I got them. That's not why he'd come. When soldiers broke the lights and the musicians' arms, I brought him to the burned plantation, hid his face beneath my skirt, and leaned against a rubber tree, still alive and leaking sap. Somewhere in the new dark, a man in a uniform cut off another man's tongue and ordered him to sing. Wind pushed the flames closer to heaven. Thank you.